Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you'll love this vibe, and everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This could be past, present, or future, you or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Remember that tarot is a tool, it is not the final rule, and it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Thank you all for your love and your support. Okay. All are welcome on this channel. All contributions are highly appreciated. Hope you all are doing wonderful and feeling great. Okay. The message that I have for you today, collective, is there is a need for you to become, as you move forward on your path, no matter who you are, what your career is, where you're from, what your tax bracket is, what kind of career you have. As you move forward, collective, Spirit is saying for you to work on really increasing your ability to tune out negative energy. As we go through these constant shifts, as these constant ascensions, constant levels of changes in many areas, spiritually speaking, as well as in the physical. There are many people who are unable to cope with this. I've spoken on this many times before. But the fact that you are aware of this, Spirit is saying for you to become accustomed to tuning out people, places, and things that does not serve you for your highest good. And for you also to become accustomed to ignoring, tuning out and ignoring. Um, if it isn't inspiring you, if it isn't positive, if it's toxic, it's about chaos or someone trying to, I'm hearing zhuzh up, like stir the pot or create some kind of conflict, whether this is regarding you or maybe you may observe or know about or overhear about someone trying to strategize against someone else. Spirit is saying it's time for you to become very focused on yourself and choose not to be involved in toxicity, toxic behavior, actions, gossip at work. I'm picking up, I'm seeing someone at work, and there's someone who likes to constantly come to you with gossip. We all have been guilty of gossiping. We all have been guilty of indulging in it as well. Okay. It takes time to work on that, but Spirit is saying it's time to extremely focus on yourself. Not to say to tune out the world or be oblivious, but anything that is not for your highest good, for you not to deliberately involve yourself in these actions or these conversations. It's time to, if there's someone, I'm seeing the workplace, if there's someone who's always coming to you with gossip, you're either going to let them know you don't want to hear it or change the topic or just find something else to do. It's time to really become distant. There is a portion of people who are moving forward. There is an energy of a great divide taking place at this time. And, the conversations and where people say that they feel like something's going on and they don't know what it is. It's a separation, it's a divide. And we are being given a choice each and every day of our life. And we're also being given a choice in this moment of what direction do we want to go in our life. What is it, that we stand for? What do we represent? Individually, we all are individually, uniquely, divinely created. And so Spirit is saying it's time to really tap into the essence of who you are. It's time to really, make sure you're doing, going into counsel, from time to time, whenever you feel like there's something that is bothering you, you're feeling unsettled, whether this is meditation for you, whether this is prayer for you or journaling, whatever it may be. But it's time to find ways to recalibrate your energy and work on being more peaceful. The world is enough by itself. Life is enough by itself each and every day. We all have something we're dealing with that we may not be in agreement of, but we recognize that there are some things in our control and many things that aren't. And so, in order to go within the flow of the changes that will be constantly happening as we move forward on our path, Spirit is saying for us to extremely, I keep hearing the word extremely, work on disassociating yourself, separating yourself from negative, toxic, chaotic behavior. This is involving people specifically. Those who want to have those negative, striking conversations, those who want to plot, plan, or strategize to harm or try to sabotage others. In order for you to go in the flow, in order for you to land on your feet, and you and your family or yourself, even if you say, well, I don't have family, but to even make sure that yourself um, is in a position where you are comfortable and secure, you want to be mindful of what you're engaging in and the energy you are putting out. And so it's very important that you be mindful of who you are choosing to hang around you, who you are allowing in your household. Uh, you may be someone, I'm seeing someone who has a party house, like a house that's always functioning with a lot of people. There's nothing wrong with having a great time. But if having a great time always leads to an altercation or someone becoming upset, screaming, fighting, you know, um, it's time for changes to be made. It's time for you to reflect, take inventory, and make some changes. We all have free will. You can do as you please. This is just a spiritual notification. So you have free will to do whatever you choose, but trust and know that there is a repercussion for every action that we take here on planet Earth as human/spiritual beings here. So you can do what you want, but this is just a message, okay? All right, tarot is just a tool, it's not the final rule. So what else the collective need to know about making these changes? What else they need to know for their highest good? How can we assist them for their highest good? Okay, okay. Mm-hmm. One second, ladies and gentlemen. And so it's very important to be mindful of the company you keep, because there's something about being caught in the crossfire, um, metaphorically speaking, allowing someone, refusing to make the changes or refusing to let someone know, for example, you're not welcome over here no more, or just, making changes, refusing to uh, cut a person off, refusing to stop giving access to someone could really put you in a situation that you will regret, or a situation that you can't turn from. I'll put it like that. And wherever your mind just went, that's what the message is. Okay. That's exactly what I mean. That's your intuition speaking to you, wherever your mind went when I said those words. And so that's why the message is being conveyed this way, that it's very important that you make the changes. And you may not want to do this. These may be people who you are, maybe you grew up with these people. This could be family, friends, neighbors, co-workers, people you call BFFs, people you go way back with, people you were raised with. But Spirit is saying it's very important to take the L and cut the small losses now so we can avoid the big ones down the road, okay? Because it's time to focus on love. It's time to focus on love. It's time to focus on things that are high vibrational, things that are fruitful. There's a lot of things that are changing, especially with the music. With the music, there's a lot of things changing, it's time to, you know, um, tap into a side that maybe you are someone. Maybe you're someone that doesn't like the sunshine, you like the dark. If you are someone who likes the dark and you don't like the sunshine because the glare is too much for you, and the dark is just more comfortable, it's more familiar, you feel secure there, well, it's time for you to step into the light. And not to totally step into the light, metaphorically speaking here, but it's time for you to at least tap your big toe and your pinky toe, all five toes, into the light. It's time to try something different. It's time to shift the narrative, make a change, It's time to do something different. It's time to come out of the habit of the same old people with the same old things and the same old conversations, the same old behavior. It's like being invited to someone's house every Friday night. You and a group of friends meet up every Friday night, and every Friday night, the energy is predictable. You know who's going to get upset. You know who's going to drink too much. You know who's going to maybe say, look, I got to lay on the couch. I can't drive home. You know who's going to show up and not put in on any drinks. It's like being in an environment that is predictable. And so Spirit is saying, I'm utilizing this as an example. If you are in, a situation, as I just was speaking of, you have a group of friends or an environment that you visit often, and you've been doing this for a long time, there's something about this environment that you need to either stop showing up as much or stop showing up at all. Now, depending on, what kind of energy, that takes place, maybe you have an environment where it's not confrontational, but there's just a lot of disagreements going on, or uh, since you've been around these particular group of people, maybe you've become very lax within yourself. And now I'm picking up that someone could be having someone hanging around them, and because their energy has them in this dormant state, they're unable to create, they are unable to move forward in their life, that this energy could be tainting your aura, if you get what I'm saying, collective. So I'm getting a lot of energy here, but the moral of this read, before I even pull another card, is time to make a change and do something different, and to make sure that you're being mindful of staying away. Do not deliberately allow yourself to be in the environment where you know there is toxicity or chaos going on. If you are aware of the people are there, you know what kind of energy that they hold, there's no need to show up. Or if you're hanging out somewhere, there's nothing wrong with enjoying life, but Spirit is saying if you're hanging out somewhere and you notice something, well, it's time to go. You know, don't be the one to want to sit around and watch a fight or watch an argument. There's something about someone being caught in the crossfire, and it will not leave. So maybe you are someone who likes to hang out. You like to go to all the events. Just be mindful. Be very mindful. But it's time to make some changes, And it's very important that you take heed to this message. They want you to be very courageous and have passion towards making these changes, because it's for your highest good. Um, because there's something that's going to occur, and my face is disgruntled while I'm delivering this read on the other side of this camera here, because it's coming through strong for someone to stay away from a particular group of friends or some kind of gathering or party, because something's going to go down. And you do not want to be caught in the middle of someone else's hoopla, someone else's mess, just because you wanted to show support, or those my friends, or prove you're still down, or whatever your reasons may be. It's okay to say no. This reading is not to project fear or say for you not to live your life, but this is just a notification. I'm picking up on the energy of someone who loves to turn up and go out. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a group of friends or a party that you're about to be invited to that you either need to not show up, or either leave this group of people alone, periodically. Okay? Your spirit team wants you to be in a position to always stand your ground and protect yourself. And that's why this message is coming up. This is a notification, and this is a strong warning here. So be courageous in making the changes. This reading is different for everyone. Only take what resonates and leave the rest that doesn't. So be courageous in making the changes that you feel needs to be made in your life. No one can tell you that. We all live different lives. We all have different kinds of friends. We all do different things for entertainment. So Spirit is saying you know who you are, who needs to make these changes while you're hearing this message. And the changes is you just not showing up to these group of friends. It's time to let it go, and find something else to do with your energy and your time. You don't have to announce your arrival or your departure. There is no rules as saying the collective must announce that they're no longer showing up. The collective must announce that they're getting ready to arrive. And I'm conveying that because someone needs to hear this. When you get in the habit of always announcing your arrival and departure, number one, it will create conflict. Just do, just be, you have free will. And there's nothing to debate about because you are an adult and you have free will. There's no reason for anyone to try to check you for doing what you desire to do. And especially when it comes to protecting yourself or making progress in your life or avoiding being in a situation that you will truly regret. This is the third time they got me saying it. You will truly regret that you cannot turn back from. Walking away. This could be family. This could be friends. This may even be a lover, okay? Who's very confrontational, who's combative, who loves to fight, who loves to argue, who likes to get violent. And when it comes to separation, that's a topic that many do not like to speak about or think about or even take action on. And that is one major source, Spirit is saying, that self-inflicts stagnation in your life, meaning it will block you from favor and blessings and opportunity. You can choose to stay in an unhealthy situation because you have free will, but there's repercussions that come with that. So if you choose to sacrifice living the good life or meeting the right person or the right type of friends or lover, husband or wife, then you have free will to do so. There are many who choose to stay in unhealthy situations and just say, no, I don't want my blessings. I don't want any favor. There are people who choose that, to each his own. But it's time to let go of some people. And I'm picking up a group of people. So this could be more than one, or this could be a relationship. Okay? The energy that you have been surrounding yourself with, collective, has had you in a balancing act, has had you in a energy of having to constantly balance things out. It could even be with your finances. You could have a friend group who loves to turn up every weekend, and maybe your budget does not afford for you or allow you to turn up at the club and buy $30, $40 drinks, or buy that $30 shot because you want top shelf, maybe your budget, your financial budget doesn't allow that. And that doesn't mean that you're broke. That doesn't mean that you're doing bad. It's just that maybe your budget does not allow that. And maybe you've had to go and overdraw some accounts or go to payday advance to make ends meet because you wanted to go and have a good time. Spirit is saying there's nothing wrong with going to have a good time, not at all, but know your limitations as an adult. And if you're someone who wants to see progress at any rate in your life, you have to be willing to be honest with yourself. And if you can do something, go for it. Go for it. Nothing's stopping you. But if it's beyond you, you have free will. It's okay to say no, thank you, or no. And you don't have to explain to anybody anything. You can keep that to yourself. You don't have to say, oh, no, I can't go because it's not in my budget. Because then you'll get your friend and say, oh, I'll pay for you. I got you. But then you get there, they're not getting you number one drink that you got to sip on all night. This portion is for someone that needs to hear this. It's nothing to be ashamed of or to become angry about. It's reality. It's real life. And on this channel, all are welcome. Doesn't matter what your belief system is. but it's reality. It's real situations that people deal with on a daily. There are many people who are living above and beyond their means. There are many people who make it look good, but on the inside, there's so much going on the inside. So much spiritually and emotional dishevelment, so much depletion, so much hurt, so much trauma, so much stress, worry, aggravation. And so that's why in this reading is being conveyed to be mindful, to get into the habit of consistently removing yourself. Not Bible thumping, not telling other people what to do, but just observing, like standing back looking, and nah, I think I'll pass on that. There's no discussion need to be had. You don't have to announce your arrival or your departure from any person, place, or thing. But it's very important to just be honest with yourself. And when something is no longer serving you, be willing to surrender it. You don't need to be in a race to prove of how much down you are for someone to the point that you're sacrificing your life or your well being or your health or your ability to care for you and your family. Because, like I mentioned, someone is hanging around some people who has a lack mentality and lack energy. And their energy, their aura is tainting your aura the more you be around them. And it's making you become more lax to the point where maybe you don't want to do anything. You don't feel like getting up, cleaning up. You don't feel like doing that resume. You got to turn paper, but you don't feel like doing it, or you do it, but you don't apply yourself, 100%. It's that mediocre energy. It's that fatigue, agitude energy. The Spirit is saying it's the people and the environment that you're hanging around. And if you are desiring progress and to go further, you have to make those changes. This comes up a lot in the read because it's reality. It is life. The energy does not lie. There are people dealing with this, unable to, let go of old patterns, unable to let go of, unhealthy relationships, living above their means. Like I said, it's beyond your budget. Whatever you have going on, maybe you have a friend that likes to shop every week or every 2 weeks. Maybe it's not in your budget to shop for expensive clothing. You don't have to max out your credit card. You don't have to overdraw or borrow anything. Spirit is saying you can just be authentic and real with yourself. Just be yourself. I'm going to the mall. Would you like to go? No, no, thank you. Not today. I'll pass. You don't have to say or share with them, oh, I can't go because no, it's nobody's business, and you don't have to share your business. You can just say, no, thank you. I'll pass. Catch you later. That doesn't mean you're broke. That doesn't mean you're less than. Because a lot of people use material things to really sometimes mask what's truly going on. There's nothing wrong with living a wonderful life. There's nothing wrong with buying and exploring life and living it as you please. But when it's being utilized to camouflage what's really going on with you, then, you have to look at the man in the mirror and deal with that. So in order to avoid, breaking your own heart in the future moving forward, these are some things that just need to be considered. You have free will, do what you please, but there's repercussions that comes with your action, the actions that you take, okay? You want to avoid the pain. You don't want to bring the pain, you want to avoid it. That's the objective, that's the other objective of this read. Avoid the conflict, avoid the heartache, choosing to walk away, avoid the constantly trying to keep balance. We don't have to keep up with the Joneses. We don't have to, keep up and do this and buy that because somebody else has it. Okay? Maybe someone else, maybe you do know, or you could be related to someone who's in a financial situation that allows them to do those things. And it's nothing to be jealous of. It's nothing to envy. Their lifestyle allows them to do that. But if you choose to be wise and be honest with yourself and live within your means, possibly in the near future, you'll be in the position to enjoy the extras as well. But things have to be done within a balance. Everything we do in life has to be done with balance. Everything, everything. We know to be excessive in any area is imbalance, and it throws the frequency off. And so refusing, you have free will, but refusing could come with a situation that you will regret, that you may not be able to turn back from. Metaphorically speaking, these Ten of Swords could represent many things that could possibly occur from not willing to let go. And it doesn't mean that you're mad at anyone. It doesn't mean that you're angry. No, sometimes it's just time to move on. And your spirit guides are conveying this message because they want you to know that it's time to move on. It's time to move forward from these people or these group of friends. They can turn up, they can do whatever they want, but there's something about protecting you. There's something about making sure that you are okay. So this is your confirmation. There is no coincidences. This is a message, an urgent message to save yourself. To save yourself, collective. I did not know the readings going here, but it went. And so here we are. Here we are. Because success in leadership is waiting to meet your arrival. But in order to stand in those leadership qualities and rest on the throne, which is a rite of passage and earned, there is work, necessary work that is required, that one should be grateful and pleased to be involved in. You have goals and dreams and aspirations that are far beyond the imagination of these people either way. And if you want to pursue those goals and dreams, you have to surrender some folks anyway. Because while you're in the energy of planting the seeds, these seeds could be you finding the career or job that you desire. These seeds could be you going back to school, furthering your education. As I just mentioned, you could be in school. Maybe you need to write a term paper or you have studying to do, but sometimes you feel very lax and you apply yourself, you get it done, but you don't apply yourself as much as you could because you're very smart. You don't put in what you can. You don't give 100%. You might put in 30, 40. Like, oh, let me get this done. Dreading it, dreading the work instead of enjoying the process of your journey. So you don't want to be in the energy where you have to protect and fight to build and create the life that you desire. So that's why it's very important for you to make the changes that are necessary. Everyone cannot go with you or be around on this journey of progress. Everyone is not put in your life to stay forever. Though we are taught that, we are programmed to think that they're going to be here forever. And it is a sad thing when people transition and you lose a loved one. Yes, it is. But the truth is, when the soul calls to be somewhere else, it just is what it is. There's many reasons. Many reasons. That's a whole nother video. That's a whole nother topic. But no one comes to stay forever, especially people whom you socialize with in friendships. Not forever, not your entire life. Your entire life. And it doesn't mean you hate them. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person either. No, we're not saying that they're bad people. They're just not the right people for you to be around for the lifestyle that you desire. Or they're not the right people for you to be around in order to stay alive. You don't want to be caught in no one else's hoopla. You don't want to be caught in someone else's mess that has nothing to do with you. You're just showing up having a good time. And what's wrong with having a good time? Nothing. But when you at the wrong place at the wrong time. And be mindful of trusting your children to be everywhere. There's someone who even takes their children around these people. Be mindful of trusting your children to be everywhere. And people could have situations going on that they're not sharing with you. People could have things going on that they could be embarrassed to share with you or afraid to share. Or they're probably afraid themselves. You can control your household, but you can't control no one else's household. Be mindful of taking your children, that's for somebody, not for everybody, around these people or this person. Family, friend, whoever these toxic people are, whoever these people are who wants to turn up every day, all day. Be mindful. Protect the children. There are many ways to enjoy life, but in order to recognize and even give yourself an opportunity to embark on these new ideas of entertainment, learning how to relax, learning how to do something different, whether it's reading a book, whether it's meditation, whether it's hiking, whether it's going to catch a movie, going out to dinner, it could be a lot of things, walking on the beach, going to a museum, going to listen to some jazz, getting into some creative art, maybe taking up an art class, an art course, something extra for you to do in your leisure time. We know you know how to cook, but hey, why not? You heard there's a cooking class somewhere. Sign up for it. If you're looking for extra things to do, Spirit is saying there's a variety, and I just named a few of things that you can do no matter who you are or where you live. Things you can do, things you can get involved in, and things that you can create besides your normal, what you have been doing. Spirit wants you to be patient, have faith, and trust that whenever it's time for you to make a change in your life, that the right offer, confirmation, will arrive. The right offer will arrive. But for you to be patient and trust the process. The people that you know are not the only people in the world. If you leave one situation, another door opportunity will arrive. That goes for all of us. Okay? So the whole goal and message of this read is to do something different. I was just speaking about meditation, being still, just doing something different, not every day of your life, but choosing to be still. You don't always have to turn up. You don't always have to be in that energy of, oh, I got to prove I'm still down. Not every day, not every invitation. You can say no. You can use the word in and oh. It doesn't mean that you're being cruel. It doesn't mean that you're upset. It just simply means nothing less or more. Just it's going to be a no. Maybe you need to make an altar. Maybe you need to make an altar so that you can communicate with your ancestors, or you can make an altar for yourself as well. Time to connect, time to go into counsel. I mentioned that at the beginning of the read. Time to work on your strength. As I mentioned, hanging around these particular groups of friends and associates could be making you feel depleted. Now, it doesn't not mean that they're doing something to harm you. It's just the frequency and the vibration that they are on, collective, is one of their own. And they have what? Free will. And so you're being warned and given the message, in order to shift your energy and recalibrate yourself and get that, increase your vitality naturally by just being mindful of the company that you keep. Because it is tainting your aura, tainting. I think I said that 5-6 times. The more you show up to be around these people, whether they're family or friends or whomever. I just mentioned walking, going out, going for a walk, walking on the beach or walking outside, or just walking in your neighborhood, cutting you some blocks, making it a habit every day to do a few blocks or walk a little bit. We're taught and we think that noise is more. No, silence is more powerful. Peace is more, not the friction, not the noise, not everyone screaming, talking over each other. Your spirit needs to rest. Your spirit needs to rest. You may want to have a day of, look, I'm doing whatever, male or female. Today I'm doing whatever. Whether you want to wear your jammies all day, let your hair stand on your head and just do nothing. Just a whatever day. A whatever day, just for yourself. You may want to make yourself a nice meal. Try a new recipe, something you've been wanting to try. Go ahead, get the ingredients and get in the kitchen and have some fun. Mm-hmm. So this reading is clearly conveying for you to take a moment to yourself, with yourself, on a regular basis, but be mindful of the company that you keep, collective. Be extremely mindful. And that getting caught in the crossfire, that just keep ringing like this is urgent. You don't want to be caught in something and it looks like something is going down with somebody if you are watching this video. And it's urgent with that 10 of swords there and that 3 of swords. Something's going down and you don't want to be caught in the crossfire. You don't want to be the innocent bystander. Whether this is someone being harmed or this could be anything. You being forced to defend yourself. You being forced to protect yourself. It is what it is. I did not know the readings was going there, but it went there. So you don't want to be in a situation that, I have to say it again, that you will regret, that you cannot turn back from. Once it's done, it's done. And keep your children away from these people. Keep you and your children away from these people. If you're choosing self-preservation, I wish you the best later.